From the crossroads of America to the farthest corners and beyond, this is Table Talk, the podcast where we're diving deep into the heart of Indiana and above and beyond.
Everybody tap in with Mimi exclusive.
Hey.
Everybody tap in with Mimi exclusive.
Hey.
Everybody tap in with Mimi exclusive.
Hey. Hey, what is happening? What is up, y'all? What is up, gang? It's your girl, Mimi Exclusive here, and you know I'm already here with another banger. I'm so mad my soundboard is not working. I got to get this thing back up and running for y'all. But yes, listen, I know I've been gone for a little bit. You know, the holidays passed. A lot of things have been going on, but I'm back at y'all. I've got some good news. When I first rebranded my YouTube channel, I had 60 subscribers, y'all. Okay. 60 subscribers. Now I got 93. So shouts out to everybody who, subscribe to me and, are waiting to see content coming from me. Now, today I look a hot mess on this Sunday. Okay. I'm not even going to hold you. That's why y'all won't be seeing me. But this is going to be some very, very good content we're going to talk about today. We're definitely going to get into the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion case, okay? And whether or not that case will be reopened again, okay? I'm definitely going to be the one that is going to cover all of that information when it comes to the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion case. Now, one thing I did want to go back on and say, shouts out to Indiana. Yes, because we did our big one. Shouts out to them Pacers. Yes, sirs, because we in there. Yes, we made it to the finals. Shouts out to y'all. Y'all did so freaking good. And we watched all of those games, and they were very highly anticipating. All right. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this whole Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation. I did want to go over some key points and a couple of highlights that we're going to basically just get into. Now, I did want to do a brief recap over the original case to let you guys know that the date of the incident was July the 20th. Well, don't mistake me for the date. It was July 2020. Okay. Now, I'm sure if you do your research, you'll be able to find exactly what day it was, but I'm just saying here for now on July 2020. Now, Megan Thee Stallion claimed Tory Lanez shot her in the foot after an argument. Now, Tory was convicted in December of 2022. Now, he faced charges of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Okay, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He was sentenced August of 2023. So let's get right on into it. Let's get on into it of why this case might actually be reopened. Well, here's a few reasons the case might be reopened. Now, new evidence has came forward. Okay, so if the new witness video footage or forensic evidence surfaces, that this basically if it was not considered in trial, it's definitely going to be considered with the reopening of this case. For example, gunshot residue reports or any confessions or testimony could also help reopen and crack this case wide open. Now, let's get into the legal defense of everything. The claims of ineffective legal representation. Now, if Tory's team can prove that his lawyers did not represent him properly, he may be granted a new trial. Now, he already has, tried this, but it was once denied. So, of course, you got that appeals process that is still, a potential option. Now, Tory's team filed appeals after sentencing. Now, if the appellant court finds legal errors in the trial, we all know that. That's what appellants do. They try to find any problems or anything that went wrong with that trial jury issues, evidence submission, testimonies and didn't get entered, the conviction could be overturned or what's called retried. There is public pressure or legal reform. So sometimes cases get open just due to public backlash. We are the court of public opinion. So, if we feel something ain't right, people get to speaking up, signing petitions, and that's exactly what's going on right now for Tory Lanez. Now, I'm not going to be biased or anything like that, but I definitely do want to put my opinion out here because this is my channel and I could do what I want to do. I honestly think Tory Lanez is a free man because some things don't add up, and we're going to get into that in just one little moment. Now, like I said, if this receives a lot of public scrutiny, um, new laws about fairness in trials, especially involving celebrities or racial biases. Okay. So, how could a case be reopened? We're going to get into it step by step because I just wanted to get into the legal analysis of things sometimes too, because the legal analysis helps us understand how the law actually works, not just us feeling a certain type of way. They can't do nothing. Of course, he gotta be judged by 12. Now, you can simply, I can simplify this, for you guys. Just take a look at how this case could actually be reopened. One, that appeal that's being filed. Like I said, Tory's lawyers submit an appeal to a higher court. Number two, a review for legal errors. That means that a judge reviews this trial and looks at it fairly and lawfully and, conducts a decision then. In the decision, it needs to be no errors. Conviction stands. If errors are found, a new trial could be ordered or changed, or charges could be dropped. Period. Now, if there is possibly new evidence, there can be a motion that's entered in called a new evidence motion, which is separate from appeal. Back to what we were talking about here. Like I said, if there is possibly new evidence, the new evidence will get entered into the case, okay? And there is going to be a motion of new evidence. Now, here is some questions that we can raise, okay? I want to know from you all, guys. I want to know from you down in the comments below whether or not you think Tory got a fair trial, okay? It's not being biased. We gonna act like we lawyers here. We gonna act like we judges. We gonna act like we just more than just the jury of public opinion. We are going to act as though we're actual law and legal experts. Now, the second question I would have that we can answer down in the chat I'll have for you guys is, would new evidence change your opinion on the case? Because some people are just Megan Thee Stallion fans. You know what I'm saying? And it really doesn't even matter whether or not it was true or not. It really doesn't matter whether it was true or not. So let me see. First question is, like I said, do you think Tory got a fair trial? Secondly, would any new evidence that has been submitted change your opinion on the case? Thirdly, is the system fair to celebrity or harder on them? What do you think? Now, I want y'all to answer these questions down in the comments below. But of course, that's what I'm here for, is to give you my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do I think Tory Lanez got a fair trial? No, I absolutely do not. Okay, because there was a lot of things that were missing, and we're going to go over that in one moment. There were a lot of things that were missing from his case, and I don't understand how, just based upon testimony and no evidence, that this man still get convicted. Okay. The second question I have for you guys, which I'm going to answer for myself, is, would new evidence change your opinion on the case? Absolutely. Okay. Because this matters. This man is being subjectified to a 4x4 cell for the rest of, well, not for the rest of his life, but for 10 years of his life. That is 10 years away from his children, 10 years away from his mother, 10 years away from society for a crime that he could have potentially not committed. So how is that fair? So that answers the question to number 1 and 2. Of course, if there's any new evidence that is submitted that is going to back up this man's testimony that he did not do this, we're going for the gusto. And I'm so happy to follow this thing right now. I'm so happy that I'm hopping in on this. And I'm going to make sure that I cover everything when it comes to this for y'all. Any updates, anything. Now, that third question was, is the system fair to celebrities or harder on them? I feel like it's harder on them to a certain extent. This is a yes and no question because I feel like they do get a little bit of wiggle room just because of who they are. But then on the same token, I feel like it's harder on them because they got everybody else chiming into their business. Like when we go through something as regular people, depending on what it is though, because some stuff can, go viral and people can find out your, business about what's going on, and then everybody else gets to judging you and da 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 da. So yeah, I mean, it could potentially go either way. But for celebrities, it's like, especially two celebrities. One is a, highly successful mega star. While you got Tory Lanez, he be doing his thing too. So I mean, it was definitely a highly publicized case. And I feel like, does that play into the system and its fairness of judgment? Yes, I feel like that does. Okay. So yeah, so we kind of got into the meat and potatoes of things and trying to figure out, would this happen? Could it happen? And yes, it definitely could happen as far as the reopening of this case. Now, I want to also say shouts out to Derek Branch. I did locate a video that is actually a really good video that shows, it actually shows where this thing kind of took a left turn. I'm going to go ahead and share this video with you. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Give me a second here. Oh, there we go. Let's watch this video, guys.
That's based on the evidence that we have. The evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy.
Okay, guys. So y'all remember how Tory Lanez went to jail for pew-pewing Megan Thee Stallion in the foot? Well, supposedly, they found new evidence that supposedly proves that Megan's friend Kelsey was actually the one that shot the pew-pew. Now, if you guys don't remember, in 2020, Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, and her friend Kelsey Harris was leaving a Kylie Jenner party. Then I guess a heated argument got started. Megan gets out the car and he aims a pew-pew out the back window and says, "Dance, bitch." Then the police come. The police like, "Lay on the floor, get on the floor now." Got them all laid out. The proof was the testimony from Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey and DNA evidence on the weapon, which is what convinced the jurors. But it turns out the DNA on the weapon only had a 0.01 chance of being Tory's, which is what caused this Congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna, to join the cause of freeing Tory Lanez. And after seeing all the evidence from Tory Lanez's attorney, she's fighting to get him pardoned, and she's confident she'll get it because Kelsey Harris's bodyguard just testified against her and said he overheard her telling her husband that she did it.
Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
Anna also goes on to say, the original DNA report from the firearm, it showed Tory Lanez was excluded as a match for the magazine and inconclusive on the pew-pew. This supports the theory that someone else fired it, Kelsey, especially with her confession and the matching pew-pew pattern on audio. The forensic evidence tells the real story. The pew-pew had 4 DNA profiles, 2 males, 2 females. The main male contributor, which was 90%, was not Tory. There was no fingerprints from Tory. There was also 0% of Tory's DNA on the magazine. Kelsey Harris had pew-pew shot residue on her hands, but her DNA and fingerprints were never tested.
Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or Was it taken? And again, simply not given to the defense.
Which, by the way, guys, I did find that weird. They gave Kelsey immunity for the trial. The only reason I can see for a person to receive immunity is because they're guilty of something. I just don't know of what. I can't see Kelsey pew-pewing her own friend. Also, remember the bullet fragments that was supposedly in Megan's foot? The ER records show no bullet fragments on the x-rays, which I don't know if she's calling them a liar, because the doctor went to the stand and said they had to do surgery. And the bullet fragments that were allegedly removed are now missing, which when it comes to an important case like this, how does that happen? Because after the surgery, it says here 3 bullet fragments were saved, packaged according to standard protocol, and passed off to the appropriate authorities. Now, a lot of that evidence we already knew, but this week, Anna Luna made a statement saying they have a new video and audio recording that came from a Ring camera, and it goes along with what the bodyguard said. And she was going to release it in 36 hours. Now, hold on. I'm going to show y'all that video in a second. Now, around this time, remember, Tory Lanez got poked in prison 14 times, which, by the way, is the reason the bodyguard came out in the first place, because he felt bad and he couldn't deal with his conscience knowing that an innocent man was in jail. That's what they said. This was posted on his page. Tory was poked 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he's pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for continued prayers and support. Which, oh my God, that shit is crazy. When I saw this, I'm like, why? Is he not protected? So now people are saying that's kind of weird that Tory gets poked at the same time that this congresswoman is trying to reopen the case and all this new evidence is coming out. So some people are like, oh, okay, you trying to put a hit on Tory. We see you. We see you, which we'll never know. Now, the person that did it, his name is Santino Casio. He's actually serving life in prison right now. Now, people are going online saying why it happened. Like, they have full stories and shit. Like, I heard this from Sharp from No Jumper. He's like, Tory let this guy use his cell phone to call his girlfriend. So then Tory told him he can't use his phone no more. And I guess things escalated and he poked him, which a lot of us don't believe. I heard that Tory said some derogatory stuff about his wife when she was visiting. So then I guess that escalated and he poked him. Guys, don't trust anything you see online. Now, guys, the Megan Thee Stallion fans made him a GoFundMe. I kid you not. Support Santino Casio. In a moment of righteous fury, he took action against Tory Lanez, a man convicted of pew-pewing Megan Thee Stallion. Santino now faces harsh punishment and legal consequences for what many believe was a symbolic act of justice inside a system. Guys, we're cooked. Look at these tweets from anon accounts. Tory Lanez was done up by Santino Casio, a brave young hero. Let's find his JPay and prison info and send him some money. Start a GoFundMe. Free Santino Casio. All right, hotties, get those coins ready. He shouldn't have to worry about his next meal for a long time. Santino Casio is kind of cute. Oh my God. Do you guys know what he's in jail for? Santino was 20, dating a 13-year-old girl. Her name was Evelyn. She ran from home to be with him. I guess things went bad. She wanted to leave, and he ended up pew-pewing Evelyn, which is why he has life with no parole, and you just made him a GoFundMe. Everyone thought that she was lying, but as you guys know, she did post it. She believes this proves that Tory Lanez is innocent. Let's check it out. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but it doesn't feel like I received really any new evidence. I thought I was going to get some visual. I'm not sure if I heard the dance B. Now, the witness that night said he saw a muzzle flash between an altercation between Megan and her former friend Kelsey Harris near an open door. He even says here that he believes one of the girls fired the first shot, then saw the smaller gentleman fire 4 or 5 shots. And the bodyguard said this too. So boom, 3 shots. Pause. Which could explain why residue was on both of their hands. Maybe they were tussling over the pew-pew? I don't know, man. Only they know. And remember when it happened? Nobody was saying anything. It's just, Something weird was going on because y'all remember Kelsey and Meg was both sleeping with Tory, allegedly. They're on bad terms for a reason, and that may have caused the argument. Now, some of y'all might say, Meg never slept with Tory. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, she lied.
You have an intimate relationship with him? Like sexual? Yeah. Did you, Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
Yes, I lied to Gail King. Probably know that you're going to ask me about this. I was going to talk about the shooting. Why are you asking me about Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, like once, maybe twice on drink night, kept catching me out of my.
First of all, saying Tory was only able to hit because you were drunk is such cap. He got both you and your friend. But anyway, because she admitted this lie, people are saying that she must have lied about the shooting too. If you can lie about something little, then you're very capable of lying about something bigger. This isn't going to look good in court. And a lot of celebrities like Nicki spoke on this. She made a whole status about it.
It's so obvious. She wanted a Rihanna moment so bad. Because Rihanna knows that she was a superstar with or without controversy. On your dead mama, lied on your dead mama, lied on your dead mama. But you will not disrespect Papa Bear, you dirty ran through bum ass. Tell them the truth.
She said, were you intimate with Tory Lanez? And she said, what? And then it was like, no. I was like, she lying.
I was down there to convince me until she said they wouldn't. Like, like that was I was looped right there. That's when I told my boy, I was like, that ain't true.
True, but if I was Meg, like, bro, like, you fucking him ain't got nothing to do with if you got shot.
Right.
Like,
now, Megan saw all this going on, and she made a response. At what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being pew-pewed by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans going to stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute y'all said I was never pew-pewed. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say I was pew-pewed, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this. Shh. Leave me the F alone. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he pew-pewed me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that. Shh. I don't give a F about a blog or a bot. Why in the F would me, Megan Thee Stallion, have to lie on this MF about pew-pewing me? How y'all mad at the person that got pew-pewed? Facts are facts. He did it. It was proven in court. F the hate campaign on the internet. Tory, you pew-pewed me. Ain't no new effing evidence. Y'all been saying the same for years. Tory, please leave me alone, you effing demon. I'm off this silly ass internet. Bye. Damn. If it's true that Tory did do it, this is really sad for Megan. Because, like, could you imagine being the victim and then, like, half the world is turning on you? It just sucks because we don't know who to believe. And there has been situations where people have lied and people were wrong as hell. Why would me, Megan Thee Stallion, have to lie? Why would I lie is literally a top 5 phrase when someone is lying. You guys are clowns. He pew-pewed her. That's why he locked up. Cancel this bid. 3 out of the 4 people in the car said he ain't pew-pewed the and his DNA wasn't on the gun. Case closed. I keep seeing this. Is this true? So I'm looking up stuff and there's this lawyer named Mo Gangat and he's on an interview with Vlad TV and he says the 4 people is Tory Lanez security guard, Megan, and Kelsey. These are the 4 people that saw it. And he says Kelsey and the security guard, through multiple social media posts, are very clearly in support of what Tory Lanez is claiming, suggesting that it did not go down anywhere near what the government is saying, that Tory took out a pew-pew and aimed it at Megan, which is crazy. Now, I don't know how he got that conclusion. It seems like people are just looking at their social media accounts, but I did see this.
What the science is showing us is the universe appears to be alive. It appears to be conscious.
Kelsey Harris took the stand today. When she got there, she was granted immunity. And her testimony seemed to leave prosecutors frustrated because she answered almost every question with, quote, I honestly don't remember. Tory Lanez allegedly shot the Grammy-winning artist Megan Thee Stallion in the foot July of 2020. Harris made it clear today that her memory from that night was blurry because there was a lot of alcohol involved.
Kelsey told them she don't remember. So is this basically just off of Megan's word? What is going on here? So there's this video here where Megan says that Kelsey wanted her to say that she didn't pew her. And Megan's like, girl, why don't you go online and tell them that I didn't pew you? And Tory, if you're innocent, why don't you go online and tell people that you didn't pew me? Why are you trying to get your boys to say this, when you could just say it yourself? Anna Luna had the answer to that. Many people are wondering why Tory Lanez didn't defend himself during the trial. The reason is that there was a gag order placed on him. Does that sound fair to you? What happened to the First Amendment right to freedom of speech? I'm like, what the fuck is a gag order? A legal restriction issued by a court or sometimes an employer or other institution that prevents someone from discussing or commenting on a specific matter. The judge put a gag order on Tory Lanez because they were worried it would influence the jury. They didn't put one on Megan. That's interesting. But I'm pretty sure a gag order doesn't stop you from representing yourself in court. Maybe there's something I don't know. Well, actually, guys, there's something I do know. You're going to love this. Because I did some digging. Tory Lanez had this lawyer named Sean Hawley. She was like, yo, I don't think you're going to win this case. Advised him not to defend himself and take a plea deal. Now, allegedly, Tory was like, nah, I don't think their defense is that strong. We can do it. Sean Hawley was like, nah, this ain't going to work. She eventually gets dropped off the case. Now, a TV show comes out called Reasonable Doubt. And look here, the series is a collaboration between Rock Nation and the Onyx Collective, which was founded by Jay-Z. This TV show is inspired by Jay-Z's album, Reasonable Doubt. And look who's one of the executive producers, Sean Hawley. Wait a minute, wait. Megan Thee Stallion was signed by Rock Nation. Oh, hell no. If I was Tory Lanez and I knew that my lawyer was cool with Rock Nation, there would be no effing way I would take advice from her. I hate to do this. I really hate to do this, but this sounds like finesse. And then Megan goes online saying, Tory, why didn't you defend yourself? And maybe Megan didn't know this at the time, but her team was doing the advising. This is crazy. And this is what Tory was talking about in this song. Sean Hawley, that's a name I would call special. Only a special person can rep you and want to dead you. Go to your DNA expert and say, don't test you. You fully excluded, but inconclusive is what she tells you. The DA's first offer was 9 years. The second, it was 6 and 85, about 5 years. My lawyer keep on pressing me to take it. I'm like, nah, I ain't do the crime, so I'm going to sit it down right here. She losing my bail hearings. I feel like it's on purpose. I begin a side eye. I'm seeing what's on surface. But she's a black woman, so hey, I say I can trust it. But at what point is it, N-word? You did me dusty, working for my accuser and working for me. All the information I give her is at ROC. Y'all had my lawyer in y'all pockets. She's circling T's. And that's why Megan always talk like jail was certain for me. No way. Hey, by the way, Rock Nation is a powerful entity. If y'all gonna start shit with me, start with academics first. He said it first. I'm just telling people what was being said. So now after we heard all of this, I can understand why people are reacting to this old video where Megan Thee Stallion hears the news that Tory Lanez is getting hit with the highest degree for his charges. Then this cameraman runs up. She makes this face where she kind of looks shocked. And then she's like crying for like the next whole minute. Did y'all see a tear? You know? No, not one. You know? Yeah. Now, guys, remember, this is still a sensitive situation. Everybody expresses differently. That face tells it all. She was shocked from the lies her and Kelsey made. Yeah, I see it. She looks shocked. Like, oh my God, it worked. Like, look, if I did it. Oh no. You would think it would be like a more relieved reaction. Like, oh, thank God. But yeah, it could be real, but a lot of people are not going for it. So I don't know how this is going to go. The internet is like torn in half about this situation. Is Tory Lanez going to get that pardon? I don't know. If you want me to keep you up to date, let me know in the comments, guys. As I always say, what do you think about this?
There we have it. There we have it. Okay, so Derek did a really good job Eric Brand, shout out to him for that good video that was very detailed, that basically summed up a lot of things. Now, I did have a couple questions just based upon that video and just looking at all of this whole thing as it unravels. Now, I just wanted you guys to notice about Megan and her nonchalant type of behavior. It's just she has a nonchalant attitude. It's like she really doesn't care, But when you take it back, when she first got locked up and she was talking about how she didn't want anybody to go to jail, a black man or anybody, and da 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 da. It just seems like this whole thing was forced for her to do it. Now, the other thing that is the big one here, it's the elephant in the room, is Kelsey. Okay. So I know if me and my best friend was in a crazy situation like this, where one of us has gotten hurt with a gun, I feel like that's going to be time for us to get closer. Like, we like, oh girl, look what we've been through. That would be the type of relationship that you would have, showing the dynamic between Kelsey and Megan, that they are no longer friends, allegedly. But I believe that they're no longer friends. They no longer follow each other. Like, what would you beef about with your friend for if Tory was the one that did this? Like I said, we're going to have to question that. Okay. Secondly, so one of the things is the driver of Kelsey, excuse me, the driver of Kelsey has stated that he misheard Kelsey informing her husband that she was the one that had actually shot Megan. Now, I'm trying to figure out, when did she get a husband? Because I guess I'm gonna have to do some research into that, because last time I checked, allegedly, they said that Kelsey was sleeping with Tory too. That was where the whole argument had came about with him, with her and Megan. That's what was the issue. Also, if you reference to this movie, guys, it's very Tubi-esque. It is called The Rapper That Got Shot in the Heel. If you guys have not seen it, you could check it out. It's like a Tubi movie. It is, but it's actually on Amazon Prime. And they did a very good job of showing the evidence, or telling the story as it was presented, or how the internet wanted us to feel. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the shooting part, they blacked it out. So even they that made that video still didn't understand or could verify what happened. And in the movie, the Tory Lanez, which his name is Corey, y'all, it's so funny, I gotta watch it. But anyway, he says, I didn't do it on the movie. So also didn't show that Kelsey had a husband. So that's where I'll have to do more research and update y'all on that. Kelsey was admitted immunity. I'm trying to figure out how she was awarded immunity for something. I thought immunity goes to a person that is testifying against the person. So say for instance, if I'm testifying against someone on behalf of the prosecution, I could possibly potentially get immunity. Okay, boom, bam, that's understood. But my thing is, how is it that you got awarded immunity when you just kept telling everybody that you didn't remember anything? That seems very coach. It seems very well played. There was a lot of alcohol. I don't remember. It just seems like, to me, that was your playoff. And for you to just be like that when the rumor has it is that you actually are the one who shot your friend. Okay. I feel like you low key try to unalive her, because shooting at her 3 times, luckily you didn't know what you were doing, because you could have possibly killed that girl. And then charges would have been even deeper and the stuff was even deeper. Still, somebody got hurt at the end of the day. Now, all I'm going to say is that this thing is going to unfold itself. Okay. The light is going to be shown. Whether it was Kelsey that actually did this, or Tory didn't do it at all, or however it plays out, I'm definitely going to be on it with it. So yeah. So also, mainly, I want to know what y'all think about this. Comment in the comments down below. Let me know what your honest opinion is about the situation. And yeah, we definitely gonna get into it and talk about it. But yeah, so yeah. Until next time, y'all. This is Mimi Exclusive. Love y'all.